Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 1. In the last episode, I enjoyed a rather chaotic picnic with Keiichi and company, and after all that was concluded, on the way back home, Keiichi decided to take a detour with Rina upon her urging to an illegal dumping ground where she apparently decided that she wanted to go look for treasures to take home. And while we were there, we ran into a reporter who was apparently there to photograph the birds. But while he was there, we ended up having a conversation that started kind of in, I think, was supposed to start in jest, about a murder that occurred at a nearby dam at the town, where somebody was killed and had their corpse dismembered, and apparently they haven't even found one of the arms yet. So, after the photographer parted ways with Keiichi and Reina, they continued heading home. And Keiichi tried to bring up the topic with Reina, but she seemed very quick to try to shut down any conversation about it. Which is a bit concerning, but considering that this is a small town that I'm in, and that murders aren't too terribly common, I think, in Japan compared to the rest of the world, it would make sense to me why a lot of people in a small rural town like Hinamizawa would want to really talk about the murder all that much, especially if it was gruesome enough. So, I can kind of understand a bit, I guess. And then after that, I guess we just went home, and that was the end of that day. So I'm just going to go ahead and get things started, and I almost forgot. In one of the tips, we learned a bit more about this murder in more detail through a newspaper clipping. But the names and dates listed throughout the newspaper were completely obscured. So I couldn't really make out who was who and when exactly took place during where. But apparently, there was multiple people involved in this murder, and the authorities suspect that it had something to do with that was something that was done in a drunken fit of anger, the brutal murder. And the police haven't been able to really close the investigation yet due to the wildly inconsistent testimonies provided by all the suspects. So, it's interesting for sure, but unless I know more about the names of the suspects and the dates of which certain things happened, it's not really much for me to go on. So, I think it would be in my best interest to keep playing and see if I can find more information along the way, while trying to make sure that Rina doesn't get herself locked up for wanting to take cute things home with her. Much like a Colonel Sanders, apparently. A Colonel Sanders? Ah, of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan. But I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear it from Rina, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's so cute, though. Does Rina often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age rummaging around in garbage is, well, if Rina enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. It was cancelled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir, and we had no say in the matter. If that's true, then that's honestly a real shitty thing to do to a place like this. So I'm only able to be here because of the protest succeeded. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? Did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. Satoko. Wait to use the cannon until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. I can understand the logic. I can understand what you're getting. Yeah, this isn't gonna go over well, you idiot. Eek. How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who is she calling a maiden? Herself? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. Keiichi Maibara-kun, wishes to be included as a member in our activities. What say you? Rina has no objection. Oh, I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Satoko both approve. The three that Mion had choired voiced their approval. In a unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maibara-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see. In order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Reina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This is starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. What kind of games? Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use, by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. Okay. It seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society. Aim only for first place. Going at half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed. Rule number 2 of our society. For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary. Of course, I'll do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody is aiming for the top, It's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation. My baptism into the club. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rina can get pretty nasty. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Can't be that bad. I've handled a lot of nasty shit in my life. Mian began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games would put Kei-chan at a disadvantage. Gee, thanks. Why don't you just imply that I eat my soup with a fork while you're at it? So today, we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game? Like Old Bachelor. Alright, let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Now, if I lose, Mian, don't draw a dick on my face. Whoa, whoa. It won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based. Face painting with oil-based paint? That's perfect. Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. Seems like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. I'll take out the card now. Rina took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the endgame. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is? That's actually a pretty good question. Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that could be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. Don't worry, Keiichi. You could probably still win this. Just believe in the heart of the cards. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheets in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. Pretty big words, Keiichi. I doubt you're going to be able to live up to them, though. That baseless confidence. would soon be crushed. Yeah, I didn't think it would turn out well for you. Kick. How about I tell you your hands starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. Ah! Come on, maintain a poker face. By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons! Reina isn't a demon, are you? Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Yeah, you're fucked, man. Not even a hint of mercy. Reina. Even Rika-chan! These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest points total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new deck. You think? Thank you. It's fine, it's fine. Kei-chan is a man after all. Oh, so you're saying it's perfectly fine to cheat against him if he has a penis, do you? I see how it is. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lovely peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontrollable frustration. It was Rika-chan's. Keep on fighting, yeah. Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. You need the power of the cards, you idiot! Your power is weak and meaningless. Think clearly, Keiichi Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Reina said. Each card has its own distinct markings that make them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Whoa. Great, Keiichi-kun. Just like that. I covered the uniquely marked cards of my hands or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corner should be the 5. And I'm out. I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. But then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I want the 7. Is this the one? I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression. That's right, bluff your way to victory! Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary laugh slip by me. I know! It's this one! Got it. 7 of spades! A cheer of ooh ran out. What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. You just revealed your secret. Good going. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in her expression as I was selecting a card were enough. Can't hide from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too. Whoa. It's rare that Mii-chan gets a card wrong. No. Kei-chan. Could it be you are making new scratches into the cards? They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. You made your own, huh? Just exactly what I'd do. So, I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit! Keiichi landed a clean hit. That's great, Keiichi-kun! That was an incredible match, you know? Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory. Even if Kei-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? At this point, he's got nothing else to lose, so I'd do it. She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resetting hand behind her back. The card on my right or the card on my left. If Kei-chan can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand. Is that okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Well, she doesn't have long sleeves, so she can't really hide the card easily. Alright. You got it! Mion grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful. Yeah, of course. This is my chance. For a big comeback! Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I had seen before. Ah, that card is... I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker. Ooh. Kei-chan thinks it's the one on the right. Will you choose that one then? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should be able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? Don't second guess yourself! More carefully. Ah! I remember now. That mark. Left card. No doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. The 7 of clubs, I see. I've won! The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker! And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh? What would Keiichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Don't let them psych you out. Shh. Ooh. What makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be. But I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the right ones the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah. One of those is the Joker, right? Keiichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, the 7 of clubs... I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means... Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. And that means... I see, I get it! This left card is being disguised as a 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is... the left one! It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Or it could be an insult if I lost. The best of performances where I lost. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Okay, you did one. Congratulations, buddy. Huh? Rika-chan is... Rina and Satoko gaped at us, as if they'd seen a ghost. What is it, Rina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square. Rika only pets someone on the head to console them. Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rina let out a small shriek. Keiichi-kun! This is how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you had just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. Kei-chan, you know, you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of the stool. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. Okay, I spoke too soon. I was right. She was congratulating me on the best of my performance as a loser. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. I told you shouldn't have second-guessed yourself. I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maibara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maibara. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that that unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Mi-chan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited, thinking she's going to do it again. When Keiichi-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought, he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly? Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You demons. You're all demons! You monsters! Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Like I said, don't draw a dick on his poor mug. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That was a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go. Say goodbye to your precious mug. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No. No! Oh! I let out my death throes. Well, that was over the top fun. Let's do it again. As soon as the club activities were finished, Reina flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Reina would be grateful to them. Mountain of Treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Same place where that murder took place, which I find interesting. Alright, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out they couldn't settle with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. Like what? They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators. And as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults? Or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Reina had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Tomitaki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred. But I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. If only I knew the damn date of when this actual murder took place. And if I knew that, along with the time that all this hubbub or with the dam construction was going on, maybe then I could piece together some common clues. Later. See you tomorrow. Kei-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home. Got it? I got it. I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. What, they didn't have a mirror at the school? Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. And I bet your dear old dad will see your face and tell you, "Son, I'm happy that you want to be a painter, but I'd never said that you should use your own face as your canvas." The mood I come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad. He's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? You can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well." Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maibaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Well, you live with the guy along with his works, don't you know? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motive. That's quite a bothersome motive. Keiichi! Pick up your room! It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Oh, come on. Please don't use my room as the motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner. So please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. And on this walk, I'm going to probably run into somebody, and something dramatic is going to happen, right? And it'll have something to do with the murder at the dam. Or at least you attempting to make conversation about it. Well, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that... I smiled wryly. Oh yeah. Reno is probably still at the mountain of treasure. The damn construction site. Okay, well, yeah. I guess I was mostly right, but I didn't think you were going to actually go to the dam, of all places, to go look for Rena. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the dam construction site. Tomitaki-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Reina and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. You really can't get this thing out of your mind, huh? I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitaki-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party? Huh? Accident? Huh? But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. Why would you be worried about an accident occurring around here? Eh? You came for me? How? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So... Huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where's Colonel Sanders? Ah, sorry. Can't you see him? In that gap? He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seemed as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. Well, that's just unfortunate. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute. There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though. I should be able to take this one home. How? If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way. I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely an illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more! Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there! After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I need an axe or saw or something. That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turning beet red. Ah, whoops. I mean to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawl on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. Seems they haven't even been able to find one in the arms, you see. It was just as Tomitaki-san said. Then undoubtedly there would have been mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There is no end to these sickening incidents. So there's more than just this one incident. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rina had come back or not. No one wanted to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rina and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying. Then if both Rina and Mion... yeah, there it was. If it both actually happened, then, well, I know where you're going with this. You're wondering why would both Rina and Mion deny any knowledge about it. But again, it could be for the reasons I stated earlier. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gone so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rina nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. So, yeah, looks like it. It looks like it actually happened. And the victim was the site foreman for the construction. Which makes me wonder, is the site foreman's murder connected in any way with... Okay, obviously the plans were stopped, but the plans to continue constructing the dam were stopped, but I wonder... Was it really just representatives from this town going to Tokyo and legislating really the only thing that they did, that people here did in order to stop the dam from being constructed? Or did somebody go so far as to actually murder the Site 4 men in order to try to put a stop to it? Because that would be a very, very fucking drastic measure to take, but at least I can understand, at least I can somewhat understand the logic behind it, if that's the case. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was: the assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, arms, legs, and torso. Kind of overkill, don't you think? I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Ah! I had a feeling it was you. Eek! Sorry. Did I startle you? Rena dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. After reading someone like that and then seeing you there holding an axe. Yeah, I guess I'd get a little startled too. Keiichi-kun, you see, earlier, yeah, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you. From the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No. I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow. Or all right? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought, and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Is it me, or does that pile right there where my mouse is, does it look kind of like a face to you? You have received new tips. The Hinamizawa Dam Project and Special Tabloid Report. Alright, let's see what these new tips are. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number, XXX, Hinamizawa's Electrical Development Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa. Takatsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged areas include 291 houses. Population 1,251. So this thing would have essentially destroyed the fucking village and just leave 1,251 people homeless. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Yeah, I can really see why the residents protested the construction of this thing quite strongly. With that many homes in all these different locations effectively destroyed just for a dam. Hell, I could probably, clearly there had to have been crazy people involved. It must have been. I wonder if it looks to me like it probably was definitely enough here to inspire some people to murder the site forerunner. The site foreman, excuse me. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company Blank openly refused. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. What did they do? But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. So it's possible you can all still lose your homes at some point. The Onigafuchi Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered had not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onigafuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman, Keiichi Kimiyoshi. Yeah, again, with that much at stake, I really can't understand why the residents fought as hard as they did. But what I really want to know is, what did the federal government and their puppet company do in retaliation against the residents? Special tabloid report. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. This music is kind of creepy. In X month of X day in XX prefecture, at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City. A bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, The police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam? They probably didn't mean to kill him at first. But as the victim resisted by swinging around the shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So, it was a heat of the moment sort of thing, so manslaughter? So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Well, if it was chopped up into 6 pieces, yeah, obviously it wouldn't be alive. X-san, so somebody who's a senior in Japanese honorifics, had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. That other tabloid thing that Keiichi found mentioned the site foreman apparently enacting abusive behavior towards his subjects, I think it said. So, is this San by chance referring to the site foreman? At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself in to the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, XX, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area. But the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised a heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. Blank had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. Probably in order to make them feel, probably to instill a more personal, undoubtedly to make them feel personally responsible, more responsible for what they did. If you make them cut a piece of the person that they killed, it would send a clear subconscious message right to you, I guess. I don't think I'm really articulating this properly, but yeah. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but Blank threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But Blank's plan collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he began being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader Blank's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by XX has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, This horrible individual has so far yet managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that Double X had said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. Double X's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. Double X didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. That would explain his disappearance then, if he ended up dying in a location where nobody would think to look. Especially if his body got washed away somewhere. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onigafuchi, the Ogre's Abyss. Isn't that the same name as that committee that the villagers made to resist the dam construction? It said that I'll double check that once I'm done reading this. Onigafuchi. And it said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was Double X. Could it be that he returned to hell through the marsh? Okay, this is some really big mood whiplash this song just introduced. The Jin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Waves leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Jin Dragon Bracelet DX, One Piece. 27,800 Zen. Okay, that last little snippet was definitely unexpected, but okay. I guess that's just there. Okay, I need to double check the thing here. Onigafuchi. Yeah. It looks like it to me. Yup. Should have thought to use the log. I should have thought to use the log first. So, a murder that was done in the heat of the moment against the damn site foreman. The de facto leader forcing them all into a really heinous blood pact, attempting to use the guy's body parts. The plan falls apart in one day, and not in one night, due to one of the murderers being brought in to the hospital, and he confessed. Everybody but the de facto leader gets imprisoned, and he possibly disappears into the marsh where he was suspected to have tried to get rid of his piece of the body. And this marsh is referred to as the Ogre's Abyss, a portal leading to hell. And coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, the residents of the town formed a defense alliance named after this thing. Very interesting, but I'm not quite ready to. Throw some serious weight into the possibility that demons from hell in a marsh might be involved in what's going on here. I need more information. Anyway, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut things off here. I guess we can do a little more research with Keiichi into the details surrounding this murder in the next episode. All the while just continuing our hijinks with his friends, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1. If you did and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Take care.